Dear colleagues, let me introduce our research named Digitalization of Learning Environment of Higher Education Institution, Conceptual Foundation and Practical Cases. The idea of digitalization is aimed at the use of the technologies not only for automatization of the existing business process of production and the sphere of service sector, but also for the creation of the fundamentally new ones. Accordingly, the economic development and competitiveness of modern states largely depend on the availability to educated and competent specialists as well as technologies that increase the productivity of their activities. Thus, in the reported global competencies for 2020, the upgrade of infrastructure and educational curricula, investment in research and innovation in order to create a market to tomorrow identify the priorities for expanding the capability of human capital, which as a result will simulate a long-term digital transformation of the economy. However, in the evidence-bound result of research regarding the assessment of the state of digital transformation in higher education institution, universities in this process are significantly inferior to institutions of other industries. At the same time, Roof and Carter emphasize that the future of higher education depends on the ability of its manager to foresees the process of digital transformation and manage it in a new competitive environment. Comparing digital innovations and digital transformations, Decker and Carter propose to consider digital transformation, and we share this assumption from the point of view of the relationship between changes in the structure, strategy, and technology as a response to the requirement of the modern digital educational environment, enhancing to need for the balance between existing and new elements. In this slide, you can see two theoretical models of next generation university digital learning environment and a link where describe this model. So this research paper aims to provide a rationale behind a conceptual model of the structure of next generation university digital learning environment and illustrates the practical cases of its implementation in University of Ukraine. In our research, we based on two theoretical positions. In the left of this slide, you can see position of academic research, where digital learning environment described as a constant integration and interaction of various teaching aids and research tools, and engagement and the support of the personalization and collaboration of all users of separate group, availability of educational tools for analysis of students' data and course information user teachers and learning designing support staff. The similar position have research non-profit educational organizations. For example, education looks for a balance between the openness of educational and the need for connection of education with environment. Emphasizes personalization, collaboration, accessibility, and universal learning design. Now we need not only create new digital learning environment, but we can upgrade our learning environment in our university, our higher learning institution. In this slide, you can see a conceptual model, our proposal of new digital learning environment. This model based on a conceptual model in SurfNet project. In our model, we take resource to 3 level. Micro level corresponds to the Fortness metaphor. It involves centralized institutional management, increase security, integration of both resources and users. It takes place on one institution. Meso-level corresponds to the city metaphor, includes institutional resource and service external users have access to. And next macro level corresponds to country metaphor. At the institutional level involves the integration external resources, services, and platform. At the same time, it should be noted that the proposed distribution is a quite conditional one. For example, Google Workspace or Microsoft Office Cloud services can be used at all levels, as it depends on the category of participant, educational task, and pedagogical technology use for their fulfillment. In this slide, you can see example of case study of implementation theoretical model in Kyiv University. For example, being based on the result of expert evaluation of the effectiveness of design digital learning in environment application, the project team of Borys Grinchenko, Kyiv University and National University of Life and Environment Science of Ukraine initiate the expansion of the component composition of the institutional digital learning environment, see in this table, in accordance with the requirements science sphere, in particular according to the results of the rating in higher education institutes. Accordingly, certain steps were taken regarding the integration of resource data and subject of educational and scientific activity. Institutional means of supporting scientific communication, improvement of resource support according to the students' demand were created. It was done with the purpose of modeling business process of scientific communication to relevant experience by young research, such as master students, postgraduate students. In particular, master students submit their scientific publication in the institutional e-journal and pass the stage of scientific paper reviews. This way how the digital learning environment component were improved in technological and organizational aspects before being integrated at the micro level, in the level of one university. Scientific e-conference were held, including conference for young scientists, and publication in the open access journal. With the involvement of other scholars, external experts, for example, reviewers, key speakers. Educational and scientific communication was explained to the involvement of leading experts, ensured the integration on scientific communication tools at meso level. Resource base of research and expanded by providing access to scientific database such as Scopus, a Web on Science. Students were involved in project activity and academic mobility through the organization and internship edu degree studies. Implementation of proposed functionality creates condition to ensuring integration at the macro level. However, the implementation of these conditions depends on the activity of master students, scientific potential of higher education students, and level of competence of scientific and scientific pedagogical staff. Involvement of the NDGLE concept and implementation of proposed model in two universities prove the relevance of similar projects which meet the requirements of transformational challenges of modern society. These challenges you can see in this slide. At the same time, change management and an important aspect of the development of learning environments in the digital age. Its systematic approach aimed at creation of strategies and the method that will be used to implement changes and develop the abilities to subjects of the learning process of a higher education institution to effectively respond to this change and adapt to them. We consider this direction as a perspective one for future research. In addition, I present 4 points of our conclusion. At first, we need to create a next generation digital education environment or upgrade the existing educational environments of higher education institution. Function model that implements a modular approach to the process of creating a digital educational environment is taken as a basis of our conceptual model of a new generation digital education environment. Examples of the application of the proposed GDLE conceptual model in 2 universities of Ukraine can be useful or both for perspectiveness and administration of higher education institutes, as well as scientific and pedagogical workers and educational analytics for the construction of modern digital educational environments and specific educational institutes. The analysis and construction of change management processes in the digital education environment is considered a prospect for future research. Thank you for your attention.